My next guest, you can watch their cooking show on the Aspire Network. They are the creators of Butter and Brown. They showcase creative ways to prepare fantastic food and tasty cocktails. That's a word for drinks, liquor. You know, they drink and eat at the same time. With popular ingredients viewers are likely to have on hand. Please welcome for the Money Making Conversation. First time, the creators and hosts of Butter and Brown, Seth Brundle and Leslie Antonoff.
Good morning.
Hey.
Leslie, I got their last name right? Did I get the last name right? Because I don't want to get you mad. I've seen you on TV, child. Come on now.
It's Antonoff, but it's
Antonoff.
okay.
Antonoff.
I'll let you ride.
I want to make sure I get
is.
that right because, you know, you dealing with knives. You know, you can mess around.
Yes, and I wield them correctly.
You know, you mess around. So, first of all, how did you two get together? Leslie and Seth, let's talk about the beginning. How did you guys come together as a dynamic cooking duo?
Sure. Seth and I both grew up in Los Angeles, and we also went away to college. I went to Howard University, and Seth went to Morehouse. And so
Atlanta and D.C., right? Atlanta and D.C., right? Mm-hmm.
Yes, Atlanta and D.C. And so when we were done at school, we both returned home. And, you know, when you leave away from home and you come back, things are a little different. And sometimes you hang out with a new crowd. And so we were introduced through a mutual friend of ours and just kind of bonded over our love of, food, fashion. We had both gone to Black colleges. So we had a lot in common, and we just, kind of became friends fairly quickly.
Okay, Seth, that was a really short story, and I know she can talk. So can you add some stuff that she missed out? Seth, please. Thank you, sir.
Man, so we actually.
I don't know why she act like she can't talk on my show. I don't know why she act like she can't talk because you can't shut her up on the TV. I know there's a lot of footage on the floor where she just keeps talking. And Seth, I'll be looking at you, brother. You look at the screen sometime and go, can I just say 3 words? Just, how are you? Can I say that? She come on my show, she give a synopsis of 1 minute. That's our whole relationship. He went to Howard. I went to Howard.
We only got 25.
Right. You want to know what we had on.
He wanted to know what we ate. So
what we ate.
The weeds about that a little bit more. So we actually met for the first time. We always tell people this story. We met for the first time at a Taco Tuesday at El Torito in L.A. And I don't remember that time, but it was me and my full, 20-something-year-old self. I used to walk around with like a king's crown on. My style has always been like very bold, very bright, very flamboyant. Mm-hmm. So she thought I was like obnoxious at first. And which I'm sure like is not too far off from the truth because I partially was back then. And then the following time we met was at a mutual friend's house where we kind of, were in a corner together and, we were just vibing on all of our life experiences and all of our interests and things like that. From food to fashion to, both of us being 2 of the only ones in our group of friends who attended HBCUs.
Right.
And from there, we just hit it off. We were like inseparable. We were at each other's houses, every other day. We were, going to kickbacks, going to parties, hanging out. Like we were like family, like instantly. So, from the friendship grew, this amazing television show. That we have now that started off as a web series on Issa Rae's YouTube network. And, the way everything happened was really naturally. Leslie and I are 2 of the main ones in our group of friends who cook.
Right.
So when we would have these Friday night wine downs or, when we have these kickbacks and stuff like that, we were always the ones in the kitchen. And not because people forced us, but because we loved it.
Right.
So Leslie sent me a text message one day, like out of the clear blue. Like I remember I was driving down the 110 freeway. Can't remember where I was coming from, probably downtown at some showroom or something like that. But I was driving down the 110 freeway. She sent me a text and said, yo, we should do a cooking show. And we should show it to Issa because, she's looking for new content and so on and so forth. And it was just a no-brainer for us. So, like I don't think either one of us ever considered that we would enjoy the success that we have in the culinary realm, but it was just something that was birthed naturally out of our friendship dynamic, out of our love for food, out of our love for comedy. If you've watched Butter and Brown once or twice, that we always infuse sketch comedy into our show because that's a very important aspect of our friendship. We love to laugh.
You sure do. You sure do.
Rashawn,
Make me laugh.
Gonna be laughing at you later, brother.
You're making me laugh. I'm tell you something.
Later. Why wait?
Laughing. Right now.
Because y'all silly. Y'all silly. and that's a compliment. That's a compliment.
It's a big part of our friendship, and we really wanted to. The other thing that's been validated by fans of the show is we really wanted to create a cooking show that was for everybody. Not everybody is a fan of cooking, especially not everybody's a fan of cooking shows, but we make the show that, people who are not interested at all want to watch, because it's just like hanging out with your friends and laughing. You know what I mean? And you just happen to get like a cocktail and some good food.
That's the key, because I watch a lot of shows, cooking shows, and I'm going to tell you something. People always want me to do a cooking show or some baking show. It's a gift, and you two have that gift. In other words, when you're cooking and you're making things, it's like an extension of your hand, an extension of your conversation, and that's what's enjoyable about the whole process. When I watch you two on TV or watch a YouTube video, it's just like it's so effortless, and it's so and the fact of the matter is, it's like it's like a brother and a sister in the kitchen together to me. Okay.
Exactly.
And so I don't know who I'm gonna go per episode. I don't know who I'm gonna get though. Because Leslie just don't know what to do with her hair. Okay. She's a beautiful woman. One day she got the hair down her back. Next thing is cut off. When next thing is up, it's up. So that's part. And then the next thing you got a hat on.
That's the beauty of black women, bro.
I know. I know that. I got 6 sisters. I got 6 sisters.
They can literally do anything. Literally do anything.
But that's the beauty of it, though.
Hair,
Seth, but it's never been done in the kitchen, though. I've never seen that. And this is a good thing, because that's a personality. In other words, this is a very complimentary statement that I'm making to both of you guys. Because something, you have your little hat on, you know, your little brim on. Who wears a brim in the kitchen?
Your boy. You know
what I'm saying? Who wears a brim in the kitchen but you? Cedric the Entertainer or somebody in there cooking. You.
Right. Yeah. Right. We always, you just hit the nail on the head. We always want to give people something refreshing. If you turn on Butter and Brown week to week and you get in the same format, the same clothes, the same hair, the same, instructions, the same ingredients and things like that, like nobody's going to want to watch after a couple episodes. Well, it's just very much, the style stuff is very much reflective, again, like of our personalities. Both of us really love fashion. Both of us really love getting dressed and, buying new clothes and stuff like that. So it's absolutely an authentic reflection of us.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about, you guys decided to do a show, and then Issa Rae was looking for talent. How is that? Tell me about fan growth, about being recognized. How has that changed in your life?
I think I can speak personally to that. It's just been very interesting. I think, like, realizing that people recognize you now when you go places. I can always tell when somebody's, like, seen the show and they know it's me, because they kind of stare at you a little while and they kind of, like, lean in a little bit more. They squint their little eyes. And, you don't want to be the person that looks and goes, yeah, it's me, because then they want to be like, I wasn't even looking at you. Like, I don't know who you're talking about. So you don't want to look dumb, right? You're like, I know you realize it's me. But, so normally I just wait for people to kind of say something. But I know the one thing for me is that I always like to give a compliment to someone that has approached me, because I know it can be awkward. You just never know how someone is going to react. So I just typically want anybody that approaches me and, has the courage to come up and say hello, just to put something onto them so they can leave with something after coming from me. I just want to make sure that I'm always imparting into other people and giving them something in the same way that they support us. So, it's pretty cool. I think the most recent time I was recognized, I guess, was at homecoming, which was really funny because thankfully I wasn't too slurred yet. So I was able to wave and talk. I hadn't had too many drinks, but it was a good time.
You funny. I'm talking to to the stars of Butter and Brown. We'll be back with more on Money Making Conversation. Leslie and Seth, they're the dynamic duo of the kitchen and they also the drinks. They doing their thing. And they're doing their thing on Money Making Conversations. My guests, I have 2 of them. You can watch their cooking show on the Aspire Network. They are the creators of Butter and Brown. One's a graduate of Morehouse. The other's a graduate of Howard. Los Angeles natives. I lived in Los Angeles 15 years, so I'm very familiar when they start talking about 110 Freeway, 101, and 405. I'm very familiar with the whole culinary substance. Well, if you're going to be in LA, that means that you're doing a cooking show. That means you have access to celebrities. So let me ask you this. Either one can respond, Leslie and Seth, because when you bring celebrities on the show, I can have them or I can not have them. Is that just a hook part of the show, having celebrities on there when you're doing your cooking sessions?
It's not necessarily a hook. I think it's more strategic for the network in terms of getting eyes on
The show.
the screen of a network that's, like relatively new. Aspire is still to this day is only a 7-year-old network.
Absolutely.
And, they just started developing original content maybe 5 years ago.
Right.
So I think having celebrities on the show is strategic for them to get more eyes on the screen, but we also try to have celebrities on the show that we actually feel like we have a connection to, or they're our favorites, or they have a connection to the dish or the theme of the episode or something like that. We never want to just have somebody on the show just for the sake of having them on the show just because they're a celebrity.
Right.
Because we've had instances in the past where we've had certain individuals on the show and, they just kind of threw off the vibe, entirely because they weren't the right fit. We made a miscalculation with what we thought the dynamic and like the chemistry would be like. So, for us, it's something that we enjoy doing when it's a great fit. And, for the network, it's strategic.
I know, and that's really important because like you're saying is that you two know who you are. And and anybody who comes on the show, like I said, I don't when they told me that both of you two were booked as guests, I immediately went to find video on you, when they want to watch the show and stuff like that because that's it's a personality driven show. So if an individual walks into the show and don't even know what they're walking into, they can be thrown off by the energy because both of you guys got energy. Mm-hmm. Both of you guys are funny, and then the food is important, but it's not important. The drinks are important; they're not important. The whole experience is important to what you guys are projecting on the show. Correct?
Correct.
Absolutely.
And I would agree. I mean, I think sometimes it just depends on, cooking is not everybody's forte either. And so I think that can even throw people off. When you come to a show and they're like, people like to eat. Everybody wants to eat good food, for the most part. That's what they want to do. But being in the kitchen and cooking, is not everyone's comfort zone. And I think the one thing that we want to do whenever anyone comes to visit us in our kitchen is to make them comfortable. And so be that celebrities, just be whether that's friends that come to visit us. And so that's something that's really important for us to note. And I know Seth and I had, made an agreement that when anybody came to visit our show, we always wanted to meet with them personally prior to, just so that they can get a feel of our energy and how we banter. And we've realized that makes their segments and then being on TV with us just a little easier, as opposed to people just kind of walking on the set and instantly they're in the kitchen with us and it's like ready, set, go time. Because even when people are celebrities, they're a celebrity in their lane, right? So if you're used to being on stage singing or, rapping or dancing or doing that, and then we're in here asking you to cook, that's not your spotlight.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so that can instantly go like, I don't really know what to do. So we do our best to make everybody feel comfortable and welcome. But, we want to make sure that they're still included in the show when they're there with us.
Well, here's the cool thing about it. Let's talk business about how the show got to where it is today. It was adapted from a beloved web series, Butter and Brown. Now you were saying that, hey, Issa Rae was looking for content for her web network. Mm-hmm. Now the executive producer of the show is Issa Rae and Chef G. Garvin. Now that's some big heavy hitters right there to walk into a network and say they believe in our brand. Let's talk us through the steps of pitching the show or showing the show or sizzle reel or whatever to the Issa Rae people and then being able to deliver consistent content. Because that's the key. You get on TV or you get an opportunity, you got to deliver. And a lot of people fail on the delivery part.
Absolutely. Well, to begin, so I used to do a web series on Issa Rae's YouTube channel before we started doing Butter and Brown, and that was actually like a social commentary series, kind of like late night talk show thing. So I would talk about pop culture and TV and all of that.
You just love to talk, don't you? You love to talk, don't you?
That was called Let Leslie Tell It. Yeah, and so that was about pop culture and things like that. So when she came and said, hey, we're trying to grow the network, and like, if you think of something, let me know.
Right.
And so in that, I was like, oh, cool. Okay, well, let's see what we can do. And I love food TV stuff, and I, watch it all the time together and would cook. So I just thought that it would be such a great idea because it wasn't something too far-fetched from what we like to do.
Right.
And so that's how we got to there. And we actually just decided we used the camera guy who filmed my show. He was a great partner of ours, Theo. And so we were able to come together and do the whole thing. And one thing we agreed on was that we wanted to build the entire show and have it all together before we pitched her just an idea.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually went ahead and, like, you know, filmed a pilot and did a whole thing to bring to her so she could see exactly what we wanted.
Right.
And then that first initial meeting, it turned into from like a pitch meeting to a production meeting. And, you know, she instantly was like, I'm down. I love it. Let's make it happen. So, you know, it wasn't too far off. And I think because the idea was so great that she really was just like, I have to go with this, you know? And so that made us feel good.
Sure. Some of the past guests include my man Lorenz Tate from Power, correct? Yeah. My man.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! My boy David Banner out of Mississippi. You know he like to eat, okay?
Yeah.
Rick Ross, Nikki Chu, that's the designer, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Carla Hall. He said, I gotta know my way through the little lanes here, teammates.
Yeah.
You know, my boy Garvin got his restaurant at the Atlanta airport. You know, he making money every day after that.
He is.
That's what y'all need to do. Y'all need to get y'all one of them restaurants at the airport. Then all of a sudden,
Right?
Butter and Brown. Then all of a sudden, y'all wouldn't even talk to Rushion no more. Y'all wouldn't even talk to me no more. Them checks be rolling so strong. It's
Nah, we ain't gonna change it.
Oh, you ain't gonna change up. You're gonna change up. I think you're gonna change up. You're gonna just change up the hats. That's all. Go change that up.
Right. That's the only thing that's gonna change.
Here's the beauty of our. First of all, thank you for coming on my show, and thank you for allowing me to promote. Just get a little background of who I am. I am a foodie. I have a thing called Rushion Eats, where I promote popular restaurants that I go in and dine on, and people recommend. And I have a Baker Spotlight website where I promote baking. And then on my Facebook, I almost got like 800,000 followers, where I always promote good cooking, good recipes.
Okay.
And if you don't mind, team, I love this relationship I have created. I feel on the phone. I love to promote some of your recipes and then drive people to watch you on TV. If you go to Rushion McDonald, you'll see on Sunday, on Mondays, on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I always promote food amidst everything else I do, Motivational Mondays, and my podcast, of course, gets promoted. But food carries a lot of weight. I say 75% of my followers are female. Okay. And so I'd love to really help showcase and help build your brand and just promote different recipes that you guys have out there and drive traffic to your TV network. That's my offer to you, because I feel that the kinship, you like little brothers and sisters, little bitty brother, little bitty sister to me on this phone today. I just want to make sure that y'all understand who Rushion is. That's why I created Money Making Conversation. I got a lot of cool tentacles that I've created over the years, and that's the general purpose. There's not no money involved here. It's just about relationships, and I've been successful because I understand the value of relationships.
We love that. Love that.
Thank you. That's awesome. You can find all of our recipes actually on Aspire.tv. And so you can shoot, everybody right there. You can share them from your site, and, they can get right to finding them because they're available after every show.
Right.
And then also, even on our Instagram, we have some of our recipes up on our page. We haven't populated them all just because, we want people to make sure they get back to Aspire and they're able to find them there.
Absolutely.
But we are, we're working on that. And
that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing, because I know that, you guys are gifted. You have a gift. I actually enjoy watching you guys. That's why I can tease you in my interview, because I'm comfortable enough to be able to have these fun level of conversation. But also I respect the talent. The talent's there. But I also know that part of the process is getting the word out, letting people know that, that I'm available. You can find me here, or if not find me here, find me on my social media. If not find me on YouTube. And that's why I created Money Making Conversations. And like I said, usually on Saturday or Sunday, I post some food item. Sunday, I'm always posting some picture of me holding some dessert, and people could lose their mind, for some reason. I hold some cake with a recipe tied to it.
People love good food.
And
that's not a mystery at all.
But to be able to see new talent, brand new talent, and like you two, and be able to help new talent like you grow is part of my dream. It's part of my process, and I just wanted to let you know that. How can people tell people your social media handles and let everybody know where they can find the television show, so we can wrap up everything with a smile?
Absolutely. Well, you can find me at Hot Mommy. That's my personal Instagram, and my brand is HAUTEMOMMIE. You can find Butter and Brown everywhere at Butter and Brown. That's and spelled out. and we are at aspire.tv. Seth?
Well, my friends,
You
thank
can
you for
find
coming
me
on.
everywhere,
Mhm.
everywhere, on every platform, every social media network, everything.
I love him. I love him.
At Seth Brundle, SethBrundle. I'm everywhere at Seth Brundle except for Snapchat. Somebody stole my name, but I don't use Snapchat anyway, so it's okay.
Thank you.
Right.
Nor do I. So, my friends,
Yeah.
you got a family member here. I'm gonna promote you. I got my left hand
Thank
raised,
you.
and I'm committed to the Butter and Brown campaign of growing the brand and making it as worldwide. Okay.